So anyway, this is our fourth podcast or video cast. I don't know what you call these now. I mean, I guess a podcast is all audio, but
It's a cast.
so did you ever, no, you haven't, because I just talked to you. I sent you that clip, or I sent you that video of
Oh yeah, I didn't get to watch it yet, but I'll check it out.
Damian Keyes. He talks a lot about getting getting more followers on your
Okay.
social media. Basically just being promoting yourself as a musician in general. And I've been doing it for the last week now.
Oh yeah.
Where and he makes a good point, because everyone's doing, this is kind of back to what we were talking about, being more than just not being more than just a musician, but in order to really grow your audience, you have to connect with them
Yep.
one-on-one, because if you do that, then they'll automatically bring more people to you. And so you don't really need to, like, kind of like what I was telling you about, like when you posted that link on your Facebook.
Oh yeah, nobody even did it.
Yeah, nobody did it, right?
Nope.
Because it's so impersonal.
Wait, but if I ask one person to do it, they'll probably do it.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. I just started DMing people through Facebook or whatever, and I was just.
That's interesting, because I actually kind of needed to hear that, or even go through that little example we just went through, because for the longest time I'm thinking like, oh, there's got to be a way to like get to all of the people that I've run across in one way, like at the daycare there's all these parents, and like maybe I can get to them in one email, but it's never going to be that way. It's going to be, I got to hound each person down sort of and be like, hey, do you want to sign the mailing list, or do you want to do this or that? Or I can't like bulk email some people out and expect them to like respond, basically.
Yeah, because everybody does that, and people
Yeah.
are used to that, and they're not.
Oh, and when I see that shit, I'm just like, next. I don't even look at it.
Right. But if somebody reaches out to you, maybe somebody, even if you don't talk to them on a regular basis,
Right.
If there's somebody that, like one of your friends from high school, or somebody, that you may not talk to as much, if they just start a conversation with you and just, are showing some interest in like how you doing, and they're more personal with you.
Yep.
It's easier. You're more likely to do the favor and subscribe or follow them on whatever platform. Like for us, we're trying to get, I'm trying to get more YouTube subscribers, because we're getting a decent amount of Instagram followers and subscribers to the email list. So I feel like YouTube is is where I feel like
we've been lagging on YouTube, kind of, right?
Well, it's a combination of YouTube is all about consistency.
Yep.
So you need to post things consistently.
Does it matter how many, or is it just the fact that it is consistent?
It has to be consistent, and there can't be too much time in between posts. Like if
is a week too long?
That's probably the most you want to go.
Right.
So, you want to post at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
But you also don't want to post. You don't want to batch upload things either, because then
you won't. Like everything all at once. You mean?
Yeah, it kind of. I mean, that doesn't even make sense, because if you're posting consistently, then they're gonna give you more impressions. They're gonna start showing your thumbnail to more people. And I noticed that that now that we've been more consistent over the last couple of weeks, is that we're getting more impressions, and the numbers are starting to slowly go up.
I'm also like like you're saying with the beats, I'm trying not to overdo it. Like with the last beat, there was only 2 keyboard lines in the whole beat, I think, right? I don't know, but it was like, and even the layers, I layered it a lot, but I didn't go like, some beats just don't need to be overdone. Like, like the Cookie Party beat, it was hella layers, like, but it's never more than that one musical idea, right? So it's not like I layered it like with all this different shit. It's just like, oh, there's like 10 different versions of the same melody in the Cookie Party beat, but it's always that same thing. But in this beat, I was like, it was only like, there's only like 3 different layers of that keyboard part. And then like I was just like, all right, I'm gonna let this breathe a little bit. And I think I'm gonna do that way more, dude. The last couple of beats are more they breathe more and they're better, I think. Like
Hmm.
Guidance is pretty, it has a lot of space in it. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, that one's getting a lot of views. People seem to really like that track.
Yeah, and it's weird because those tracks always take me the least amount of time. Because it's just like, oh, boom, boom, I know it works. And then like, all right, I'm gonna move. Like Guidance I did in like an hour or two. And the same thing with this one. I made this beat. I took a lot of time sort of just yesterday messing around just because I was fucking around with it and just having fun. I tried all this different stuff before I landed on like what I liked. But anyway.
But yeah, kind of back to what I was saying about connecting with the audience. That was one of the biggest takeaways, and you should really check out that video.
I know,
Um,
I'll watch it.
he kind of even goes through.
Well, tell me, why don't you just tell me some of the
Well, I don't have it memorized, but the main takeaway was that you need to really connect with your audience, and you need to it's like you need to convert them from follower or subscriber to a fan, right?
right, right.
Because somebody just following and subscribing might get your posts when you post new stuff, but a fan is someone who's gonna really want, like, they're gonna bring their friends and family over to your
Right.
channel, or whatever platform that you're using.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna show their friends and family your music, um, because they really want that personal connection. And he goes through a bunch of examples of ways you can do that at the end of the video. He has like 30 different ideas, like you do like little contests, little giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I know this isn't realistic right now because everybody's staying at home right now. But if you ever do a show, what you want to do is maybe invite your fans to hang out with you either before or after the show, and have a drink, and just
Right.
hang out with them, and have more personal connection. And that's the thing that a lot of the successful artists have going, is that they do that one-on-one connection. Like, he used Ed Sheeran as an example, how they'll do a video shoot with one of their fans. They'll involve their fans in a song, writing a song. And I know that's on a bigger level, that's more on a mainstream level, but I mean, you can do that on a smaller level, where,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I don't know if this is going to be realistic for you, like, but maybe, I don't know, like, you do when you were doing those kids classes in person. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think what really makes it appealing to them is that you're right there, and they can
Of course, yeah. I can like, well, that's
they
why.
can touch you. I mean, I don't I don't mean like touch you, but I mean, like, you're right there within reach. They can
Right.
talk to you. um and so I think that's what the difference between everybody putting music on, that's like the difference between somebody who's successful and the average person just putting music, and then just
Well, that's
DMing.
why actually Zoom is cool with these classes because I can see them and be like, "Oh, it's little Johnny. It's all good job, buddy."
Right, you give them shout outs, that way
I
they
need to
feel
do that more on Zoom actually, because I don't know. Like, it's hard because I don't. I need to my setup. I can't exactly see everybody. Like, I can see them dancing, but I need to have them put the name on their screen so that I can just be like, boom. I don't have to know the name. I don't have to memorize them. I can just tell the parents like, hey, drop a chat in there and I can say your kid's name for you. You know what I mean? That'll be like the personal touch thing.
Yeah, I
So
mean, the takeaway is that you need to make your audience feel special, and then that'll gain you more fans or more followers.
right.
And I mean, you only have to do it to I mean, you just basically have to just get some one-on-one going with a few fans, and then that's going to grow your
Hmm.
fan base even more. So that's the thing I've been focusing on a lot lately, is just trying to connect with people that are already, like, giving us random comments on YouTube. They're saying, hey, we
Right.
really like, that's a really nice track. And I'll respond back and say, oh, hey, thanks. And then I'll even listen to their music, and then give them a compliment about a video that I like, and I'll even point
Yeah.
out something specific about that. And then
So
I'll
they
even,
knew that you watched. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say something very specific so they know you actually took the time
and
to
I
like
even
check
ask
out
them,
their stuff too.
yeah, yeah. And I even ask them like, hey, what software are you using? What are you using to make your beats? How long you been making beats? Where are you
Yeah, yeah.
from? Things like that. And, you don't have to sit there and get overly personal with them, but,
Right.
show some kind of interest in what they're doing. And, that'll definitely go a
It goes
long
a long
way.
way actually because people remember that. You know, I
Definitely.
remember it when anybody like reaches out to me, like one of these guitar player dudes that I kind of ran across online.
Hmm.
I never met the guy in my life. Yeah, I think he lives in New York or whatever. But he had an album come out and it was really good. And I just tweeted it one day like, "Oh, this album's the shit," And I remember he like commented on it or something. He like personally said something like, "Oh, thanks, man." Like, and I was like, "Oh, dude, damn! I didn't expect him to say that." Like it was like a real guy. It wasn't just a machine. And I was like, "Oh man, like that was cool." Like I don't know. I felt it was different. The fact that he
Right.
responded to my tweet or whatever, like it definitely was like he got me as a fan, like more over for that.
Hmm. Yeah. Another thing that I've learned recently, or just in the course of, you know, figuring out ways to better connect with people is, you got to bring some kind of value. And you hear this all the time, from people like other producers, especially the click funnel people who are, they always talk about bringing value.
Hmm.
And I kind of use that in my mailing list. Instead of sending out emails saying, hey, check out my beats, whatever, um, I'm starting to send out newsletters
Mm.
to people saying, hey, these are some things that, and this is outside of music. I basically shared, and this is the newsletter I have going out, the next one I have going out to my subscribers, or to our subscribers, telling them, my story about how I was able to manifest my producing skills and my experience with that into a career, in technology, like in
Oh
computer
yeah.
science. I basically tell the story how, I was working the call center job and kind of got tired of it. And I had the thought like, hey, well, if I can operate Pro Tools and Logic and Ableton, I
Right,
can
right.
easily learn computer science, and I can learn how to program, because that's something that I like doing. And I think, a lot of producers would find that coding is something they would like doing if they tried it out.
Right, right.
Um, I was exposed to it back in the mid 90s, just, at a very small level. But when I was taking this course, everybody hated it because everybody was more wanting to design.
Yeah, they want to do
Everyone's an
design.
artist. They wanted to
Yeah.
use Photoshop, and I'm like, hey, I like this interactive software where you have to actually code, is
Yeah.
actually kind of cool, because I hate designing. I'm not really a great visual designer myself,
Hmm.
but I definitely like to try to make things work. And
Right,
that's
right.
why coding was always attractive to me. And so, that's what I did all last year. When I got laid off, I was already, into computer science at that point. I just went in really hard, but it was about 7 years ago when I started learning how to code. Yeah, about 7 years ago now.
Hmm.
It's 2013. I was like, tired of this shitty call center job.
Yeah.
So I stepped it up and I started learning programming, computer science, and things like that. And so, that's something of value that I think that I can bring to my subscribers. And, it's outside of,
Yeah,
you
that's a
know,
good point because you use your musical, at least the desire and the skills that you have in your music, but like apply it in another way. That's good for people to hear, actually.
yeah, it's a way to take your technical skills to another level,
Yeah.
and, you know, and add a second, you know, add another stream of income, because people talk about
Right.
that with music. They say you should, try to have multiple streams of income. And so if you're,
Yeah, exactly.
if you're doing music, then you can, you know,